Hey folks, Mike Johnson here. If it's got wheels and an engine, you're in the right place. On this channel, we dive into car repairs, maintenance tips, and everything you need to keep your ride running smooth. If you're into cars and want to keep learning, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. All right, enough talking. Let's get into it.
Before you let your car run on empty again, it's worth knowing how many, or few, miles you can actually drive after the light comes on. It's also a good idea to know what else is at stake when you let your gasoline run close to exhaustion. Part 1 of 3, is it dangerous to drive with the low fuel warning light on? The main concern when driving on empty is the possibility of running out of gas and getting stuck on the road, which is not only a problem, but also a potentially dangerous situation. You could break down on the highway, where surrounding cars are moving up 70 miles per hour, or you could break down on a blind curve on the highway, where a vehicle could finish you off. Or you could run out of fuel in the middle of a desert, or on an icy snow-covered road outside. That said, driving on empty can also damage your vehicle. If you run out of gas, you can damage your catalytic converter, which can then be repaired or replaced as a result. Even the simple act of driving with a small amount of fuel in your tank can damage your fuel pump, as any debris or contamination in the gas, which naturally settles to the bottom of the tank, will be sent through your fuel pump when the tank is almost empty. You won't ruin your car the first time you drive it with the low fuel warning light, but it's a harmful practice to do regularly. Part 2 of 3, how reliable is the distance to the empty gauge? Most modern vehicles have an empty gauge distance on their instrument cluster, which provides an approximation of how many miles can be driven before the car runs out of gas. Many people prefer to use this feature in place of the low fuel warning light, indicating that if the gauge reads 20 miles left, they have 20 miles before they eat gas. However, this is a dangerous practice, as the distance to the empty gauge offers only a rough approximation. This approximation is based on the average mileage you've achieved while driving your vehicle, which means it may not be very accurate in relation to your current driving conditions. For example, if most of your driving is done on the freeway, your distance on the empty meter probably isn't very accurate when you are stuck in traffic. So, while the gauge provides a fairly accurate approximation when your tank is relatively full, it shouldn't be used to calculate your exact number of miles left in the tank when you're running on empty. Part 3 of 3, how far can you drive on empty? Exactly how much you can drive on empty depends on your vehicle, driving habits, and road conditions. However, you might be surprised at how few miles you can drive once the low fuel warning light comes on. Here's the range for how many kilometers you can drive, as well as the point at which the warning light comes on, for the top 50 best-selling vehicles of 2015. Note, for vehicles with not available listed for the point at which the light comes on, the light is triggered based on the distance to the empty calculator with the number of miles listed remaining. How far can you drive your empty vehicle? Make model fuel remaining when fuel warning light is triggered, miles remaining when fuel warning light is on Ford F-150 of. A tank 35 to 80 Chevrolet Silverado unavailable 25 Ram 1500 3 gallons 63 to 87 Toyota Camry 2.6 gallons 65 to 91 Toyota Corolla 2 gallons 60 to 84 Nissan Altima 3 gallons 81 to 114 Honda Accord 2.6 gallons 70 to 93 Honda CR-V 2.3 gallons 62 to 78 Honda Civic 1.9 gallons 59 to 80 Ford Fusion 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 Ford Escape 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 Toyota RAV4 2.4 gallons 57 to 74 Chevrolet Equinox unavailable 50 Nissan Rogue 3 gallons 78 to 99 Hyundai Elantra unavailable 30 Ford Explorer 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 Chevrolet Cruze 2 gallons 56 to 84 Ford Focus 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 GMC Sierra Denali 4 gallons 64 to 92 Hyundai Sonata unavailable 40 Jeep Cherokee 3 gallons 66 to 93 Nissan Sentra 2 gallons 60 to 80 Jeep Wrangler 2.8 gallons 47 to 58 Chrysler 203 gallons 69 to 108 Chevrolet Malibu 2 gallons 50 to 72 Jeep Grand Cherokee 3 gallons 66 to 90 Toyota Tacoma 3 gallons 63 to 75 Subaru Forester 2.6 gallons 62 to 83 Kia Optima unavailable 30 Toyota Highlander 2.9 gallons 58 to 72 Kia Soul unavailable 30 Toyota Sienna 3 gallons 54 to 75 Subaru Outback 2.6 gallons 65 to 85 Nissan Versa 2 and 6 gallons 65 to 85 Volkswagen Jetta 1.85 gallons 57 to 85 Honda Odyssey 3 gallons 57 to 84 Honda Pilot 2.5 gallons 45 to 62 Ford Mustang 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 Ford Edge 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 Chevrolet Traverse 2.5 gallons 42 to 60 Toyota Tundra 4 gallons 60 to 72 Jeep Patriot 2 gallons 46 to 60 Toyota Prius 1.6 gallons 76 to 81 Hyundai Santa Fe unavailable 40 Kia Sorento unavailable 40 Chevrolet Impala 2 gallons 44 to 62 Ford Transit 1/16 of a tank 35 to 80 Mazda 3 2.3 gallons 69 to 94 Mazda CX 5 2.6 gallons 67 to 91 GMC Terrain unavailable 50 Driving on empty is sometimes a necessity, and when you find yourself in this situation, it's important for you to know exactly how many miles of range you've left. Finding out in advance is a good way to be prepared when the tank is really low and avoid a breakdown. If you find that you're reaching an unfinished vacuum quickly, or that you're leaking fuel, make sure you have an inspection as soon as possible. In conclusion, while it may be tempting to push your vehicle to its limits when the fuel gauge is nearing empty, it's important to remember that the distance you can drive varies significantly based on your car's make and model, driving conditions, and your driving habits. On average, most vehicles can travel anywhere from 20 to 50 miles after the warning light comes on, but this is not a guarantee. Running on empty can lead to potential damage to your engine and fuel system, so it's always best to refuel as soon as possible. Stay safe on the road, and keep your tank topped up to avoid any unexpected surprises. Thank you for watching.